So we've got a Friday briefing with Mr. Laurence Skelly, Department of Enterprise, and we've done all the puns with Star Trek here offline, so we'll leave that. First of all, I think I've seen you since the changeover. Going well? I mean, was it the right decision, you think?
Yes, absolutely, and I think we go back to it was November Tynwald where we got support from the members to take it to this particular stage. Considerable amount of work, root and branch review of the entire department, a transfer of functions, and a refocus on what we would regard as the policy and strategy, and now moving towards the one of the final phases, and that is the creation of the executive agencies.
So you're going to have four major branches to it, which are?
Yeah, well, we have, first and foremost, we have finance, which is really finance and professional services, still the backbone of our economy, and they do rightly should have an agency of their own to focus in on their sector. Secondly, we have digital, which is obviously the fastest growing sector within our economy, and then we have visit, which of course is the tourism side of things, very important to the island because the imported revenue, hospitality, quality of life, and then business, which is the one which actually captures all the other sectors, which there are very important sectors in there, manufacturing and hospitality and so forth too.
And one political member is going to sort of head each one of those.
Correct, yes.
You've got one spare, you're losing one, aren't you?
Yes, we felt that this was the appropriate time through the Lisbane report and the recommendations that followed that amendment. We had to reduce by one MHK, and Martin Perkins has agreed to step down, and I just want to say on record he's done an absolutely superb job, very dedicated, very enthusiastic, and been very constructive to the department, and so what we had to do is make this decision now and align that with the appointment to members to each of those executive agencies.
Okay, so this slimmed down department, giving it a new name, the brush has obviously gone through it, but you're still in charge of it all, so does anything really change? I mean,
well, I guess it's a good question, really, in terms of what does it mean. Publicly, very little change. I think business will see quite significant change, and our engagement with industry to get to this particular point has been very involved and in depth, and we did the review and looked at executive agencies elsewhere, and what we've done is we believe has created an executive agency model that's fit for the Manx modern economy of today, and therefore we've got to have what we believe is the right and appropriate modern department that suits that.
And you're looking for new people to run each part of this
yes,
thing?
Yes. So through the process this last year and a bit, we've freed up quite a number of posts within the department, double-digit numbers there, and what we're looking for now
freed
is...
up, sacked?
No, several of them were on contracts not renewed, so this has allowed us to move to this particular point with regards to the financial point of being cost neutral to get to this. So we are seeking 4 posts in terms of the non-executive chairs for each of those executive agencies, and we're also looking for chief executives for the digital and the finance as well.
And Mark Lewin has now been made up officially, right?
Finally, yes, he is now permanent within the department, and again I would applaud the work that he's done through the review to get to this particular point.
Now, one of the big things you were pushing for was work permits and the reform, which you're telling us now that most of it, or 50% anyway, is being done online. You still had things in place only for a certain amount of time. Is that right? I mean, you were sort of trying it out. Any blips, changes you see coming up to how the work permit easing off anyway is going?
No, well, our feedback has been positive. It's still relatively early. Introduced reforms in October last year, and then we went with the online system on the 15th of January this year. Had to build a whole entire system for that, and I'm delighted to say that has been very effective, and the turnaround in itself, with the vast majority turned around within 24 hours online,
so
which
no
is
more
great.
There's people waiting to get a chef or something from the UK. They can't hold on to them because they're waiting weeks. That should stop now, shouldn't it?
We've done a special exemption for hospitality, I would point out, but generally, yes, it's been very, very positively received. And other areas which were very important was the cohabitating partners, which we've had a good number of people already come through that. Almost immediately when we brought that in October, we had people applying. So that's helped get people into employment here in the Isle of Man, and that's really important because that is our number one problem going forward. forward with the economy. We just had a budget which I would suggest demonstrates the strength of the economy. Less people in employment, more people in work, so that's less benefits, more tax. That is obviously the positive position we're in. And the business confidence survey would tell us that people want to invest, people want to hire. So we have a lot more jobs available here on the Isle of Man, and that's what we need to address going forward, is the skills gap. So the work permit reform is one of those elements and barriers that we believe that we've improved and make it easier. And now we need to understand, how do we fill that skills gap going forward?
You mentioned the exemptions, which is what my point was. How is that going? Because obviously some people didn't agree with the whole idea of relaxing the work permits at all.
No.
Are you relaxed about how it's going?
Yeah, I think the evidence in itself, and that's the key point of retaining the system. First of all, obviously protect the local worker. We want to make sure that we've got employment for our people that are coming through our education system. They do have those opportunities, but clearly where we can't fill that, and you've got unemployment so low, we need to import skills. We need to import experience, and the work that we're doing around Isle Expo this year with the focus on locate is not just about locating business. This is about relocating people to the Isle of Man. We'll be having a year-long campaign on different platforms to encourage people, the economically active, to fill these posts. So when you've got business out there that says, I've got these jobs, I want to invest in the Isle of Man, where are the people to fill those posts? We can only do so many through our education system. We're working very closely with our colleagues in the education system, in particular around vocational areas. We're expanding the opportunities. 15 different sectors are now represented in apprenticeships, vocations. Great strong support there, and opportunity for our young people. But we do need people to move here to actually fill those other immediate posts.
And you're the man to do this, right? You're happy in your role?
Oh, very pleased, very pleased, and I think we've as I say, if I go back to the budget, that demonstrates a budget of substance, and that demonstrates a budget of a economy that is showing strength, and it's going from strength to strength, and that's our job, is to maintain that. And this new structure, refocused department, I think is the appropriate forum to do that.